Welcome back to the GSTL Pre-Season Finals. And we have Seed's first appearance. What is he going to do?
I am really curious to see that. I actually was told on Twitter that apparently they played in a small tournament where Supernova was able to take him down with a 3-0. I'm not quite sure if this is actually true. I didn't get a link to the tournament or anything like this, but Seed in general is just a very strong player in Heart of the Swarm now, and even if they already played in an online tournament, this is the first time that they meet in Heart of the Swarm in an offline environment.
Yeah. Offline is very different from online. There's a lot of different things that go into this. Supernova already showed a really aggressive opening against the teammate, a different Pross. Our former Pross is now dead. With Widowmines, I would not be surprised to see some sort of a different form of aggression early on with Hellions. Maybe Widowmines with them as well, and another drop against Seed here.
You know, the thing is that Seed is under a lot of pressure now. Seed is a player who has very high expectations towards himself, and lately he was not able to fulfill them, especially in Wings of Liberty. So now he's looking at this, he's like, I've been training for Heart of the Swarm, I'm in a spot where I don't want to be, I'm in Code B, I want to be in Code S, and this is my time to shine. So I feel that there's a lot of pressure on him that he puts on himself, thinking that if he doesn't prove himself now in Heart of the Swarm here at the GSTL Pre-Season Tournament, I feel that he would think he failed in his own eyes. You know what I mean? It's self-induced pressure that we have here.
He's very harsh on himself, and that's the type of attitude I feel that can actually be really good for a player.
He has to be able to deal with this, and he was always a player who was very critical with himself. Even after a loss, he would start an interview and would be like, okay, I made these decisions, they were wrong, I have to improve on this, I have to change that. So he's one of those players who really tries to analyze his own weaknesses.
Yep.
And this has to be something that he can transfer over to Out of the Swarm.
It's really important to be able to recognize this, your own weaknesses. We've seen players in the past do this, but Seed is one of our newer ones, really taking responsibility. He is going to try to end things. If he can beat Supernova here, it's all over. We are already in the game. The map is Icarus. This is the GSTL Pre-Season Finals. It's up to Supernova now. Let's jump into the game. That I totally ruined the intro for.
The last man standing for Team AZUBU. He was able to take down first. Now he has to deal with another Protoss player. Starting to the top left of Icarus in red, we have
AZUBU Supernova.
Can he do it again? He wants to make sure that his team is going to win this pre-season tournament. To the bottom right, we have his opponent. Starting in blue for LGIM, another Protoss. This is
LGIM Seed.
Seed, such a tricky player. You know, he's been around since the very first season of Team League, where he was popularized by his fake Immortal into a hidden expansion build on Lost Temple of all maps. I suppose it was Shattered Temple. But he's been around since then, and only recently, over the past year, has he really been a dominant player.
He's one of those guys that was able to suddenly appear in Codes, have this amazing run, and when he was up against MC in the finals, everyone that you asked just said, well, MC is going to take this. Seed doesn't stand a chance. MC is the better PvP player. MC has more experience than his opponent. And then suddenly, Seed is the one who is the aggressor in the finals and who takes the series, who really shuts MC down from the beginning. And it was such a great tournament for him. He was the champion, and then suddenly he pulled a Jagchi, fell off Grace, and all the way down to Code B, fought his way back into Code A, and then again at the hands of Center, he falls down into nothing. And this is where he was really like, okay, I'm done with this game. I have to focus on Heart of the Swarm. Yeah. I'm not where I want to be. This is a new start for me.
So for him now, this is going to be his appearance, his new start in the booth. And so he has to make a good showing. And not only does he have to prove it for his fans, but like we talked about before, he's very critical of himself. This is going to be an important moment for him. Now, Supernova has taken gas again. He's going for a factory, this time not proxy. And he has a lot of different opportunities with this factory. The question becomes, what is his plan?
You know, we talked a little bit already about the IGL Korean qualifier, the IPL Korean qualifier, where so many of those players that we've seen over the last few days were already participating. One of those guys was Supernova. Supernova defeated Violet in the first round, was able to take down Salvation, but then in the third round he fell at the hand of Genius. He didn't really have to play a lot of Protoss players. The only Protoss that he played, he lost to him with a 2-1. But also the same is true for Seed. Seed really disappointed a little bit in this tournament. He was up against Puma, and Puma took him down with a 2-1. So in the first round, Seed was already eliminated and not really getting these accomplishments that he wanted to. Can he do it now? He is the player that is not the last for LGIM, but he could finish things, and this is exactly what he wants to do right now. Leave a good impression the first time that he plays offline in Out of the Smoke.
Well, let's talk about these builds. Supernova is doing the Marauder Widowmine build that's really popular on the ladder right now. I used to do it, and I started to hit it all the time, and talked to a few pro players about this. It's just a build that makes it so that so many pro players, like Seed is doing, will make their robotics before they make their Nexus, because if you don't do that, if you skip the robotics, for example, and had the Nexus going down right now, he would have no way to detect the Widowmine coming out, and Widowmines with Marauders are so difficult to defend against.
But as it is, he will have the Observer. The Observer is already out, and now he sees what's going on. He knows what's happening here. Can he deal with it, though? There's a big ramp that we have, and here come the two force fields. He's microing a Stalker back, takes down a Marine. He knows what's up.
Yeah, you know, he cancels the Observer. This is a perfect choice to make the Immortal instead, because with the Observer, the second Observer coming out, this might not be enough. Because even if you can see that Observer, or the Widowmine, it's not going to be easy to kill it. Oh, wow, he's going to lose this pylon potentially.
Yeah, that
he can't get too close to the Widowmine.
He's trying to take down at least one of those Marines, and the pylon is indeed going down. Now he's supply blocked. The Immortal is not out just yet.
Oh, this is so difficult for Seed to hold. The Widowmines are burrowing. He has no answer. One Widowmine should get that probe. It does.
Yeah, one of those
and the Observer is scanned. He loses the Observer.
He loses the Observer, but now he has the Immortal out and can put pressure on the Marauders. This is exactly what he does. Immediately starting another Observer. The bunker is finished, but one Marauder is not going to change the course of this.
Looks like you want to maybe try to get a salvage off. The second Observer is out now, and this will put an end to the Widowmines. That was very close. That was a very thin line that we walked just there.
Yeah, but a good hold by Seed, and he has the expansion up now. We also have, do we have the second command center done for Supernova?
Yes.
It certainly looks like it. Yes, he's going into the orbital tech now. And this was a very, very thin line, as you already pointed out. This was so close.
It was really close, but the scarier part now, it was a scary moment for Seed, but now it's a scary moment for Supernova, who has to defend his command center against a similar type push that we saw last game. He will have a few Widowmines out, but with good micro, those can be defeated. Oh, boom. He got the low health Stalker, though, luckily for Seed.
Yeah, one Stalker is gone. Now he's trying to run away with the Widowmine.
And he should be able to just barely get away.
Yeah,
this push is going to be so tough to hold.
Yeah, and here we go. The Marauder is now moving in. We still have this one Observer.
He can't lose the probe if he wants to make this work. He loses it. No forward pylon now.
No forward pylon. Can he at least do some damage to those Marauders? He's trying to trap them with his force fields. Not able to pull it off perfectly, but at least he gets one.
Widowmine repositioned just slightly so he can get at the top of the ramp there.
He sees all of them.
Yeah. 2 extra gates going down. He may just send another probe and still continue the attack.
We still have the pro production here for Seed, and Supernova was cutting on SCVs a little bit since he wasn't quite sure how much Seed would actually dedicate to this attack. But look at the pathing here. Not only for the Immortal, but also the Sentry already being attacked.
Yeah, luckily losing only shields there, but that could have been a lot worse. He needs to really fix his pathing. He sent the Stalkers down the same path.
Uh-oh.
And he will get one Marauder, and we'll also get this Widowmine. Nice. Oh, good micro by Supernova.
He gets another Widowmine.
Yep, not quite able to get the Observer. That was a failed scan.
Yeah, the scan revealed it, but it was just not in range, and now those rocks are under pressure. This is really what we see on this map so often. Just players being very aggressive, and Supernova, he tried to pull it off, but Seed, he holds, and now he is putting on the counter pressure.
And with no more scans to deal with the Observer, he can't stop the wall from being destroyed from the other side. Even if he lifts his command center out, wherever Seed wants to poke him at the front of the wall, it's going to be so difficult to defend. He's repairing the Widowmine.
With a lift on the command center, this also means that his income is just so much worse. Double force field, no repair, and bam, bye-bye bunker.
And that Widowmine is one of the only last lines of defense. The second one there as well here. The Observer is a little bit dangerously forward, but it looks like there's no scans. He's not killing it here.
There's so much damage potential for Seed. Both Immortals are still alive, and he wants another round of units.
Saving the Observer means he can detect the rest of the Widowmines. He can also continue to have high ground vision. The command center that was landed at the back will be taken out. This Hellion pressure is going to force maybe one warp in of Stalkers, but this warp in of Stalkers that he's already had this initial force is going to be so difficult to defend.
Here comes the Hellion. He needs to warp on in the main base. Seed, that is. He needs to warp in a few units. He's still in cooldown with a few of the gateways. Warps in units at the front and behind to save against the Hellion. But can he really push through here?
It looks like he will. I mean, he continued to attempt it. There's so many SCVs losing mining here, and this is going to become worse and worse. There's also a Dark Shrine, mind you, on the production tab right now, which is going to be very annoying because he's using so many scans to deal with the observers. He's relying on those Widow Mines and trying to stop his opponent's high ground. But if he doesn't have any scans for the DTs, things are going to get even worse.
And think about how many scans have already been used to take down this observer, which never really happened. So this is energy that is just missing to get the mules in there to compensate for all the SCVs that can't mine.
He's supply blocked from losing the depots that the Observer gave vision to, and now he's trying to make these add-ons on his barracks. He feels he's held this, but this is going to get very scary.
Another Hellion is trying to move in, but once again, Seed is ready, has an Stalker here. This is getting so close, but Supernova is really under so much pressure now. He's down in supply by 20. He's really trying to make those run-bys work, but it doesn't really happen.
I feel like even though he's down in supply, he still has the better tech with those medevacs, but will he be able to deal with the DTs?
Yeah.
That's the question.
I don't really think so, Wolf.
The DTs just do so much damage to the Marines, which do not have combat shields, so you can one-shot them.
He has no detection. He has no energy. He doesn't have it. And now the GT is moving in. He has to wait for so long until he can start scanning. He's going to lose so much here.
Yeah, starts a turret now. Attack at the front continues. He does not have any units on the ground anymore. He can only fight with SCVs, essentially. There's a Warp Prism in the main as well. He can actually start warping in directly here, right into the main.
Supernova is trying to survive, but there is so much Protoss in his army. He's trying to retreat. The mining is shot to hell, and now the entire army of Supernova is just going down. He's down to 50 supply against 120. This is way too much for Supernova to handle.
He can't handle it. This one Zealot is even giving him trouble, even with all the medevacs he has here. The rest of the Zealots coming in. The SCV wall is gone. The Immortals are taking out the production, and this is going to be it. It looks like Seed will seal the deal. GG!
LGIM takes the GSTL Pre-Season final. Supernova has been beaten. Seed is the victor in the game, and this is the first time we've seen him in an offline environment in Heart of the Swarm. It was successful, a good comeback, and he is happy, as is LGIM.
He's basically shown us how to play safely and expand against Widow Mine pressure, and at the same time utilizing the map features of Icarus to go for a timing attack that makes a lot of sense.
Really, really well done. Supernova looked strong, looked very aggressive in the entire series, not only against Seed, but also against his first opponent. First, well executed, but in the end, Seed was just a little bit too much for him to handle. AZUBU with a great run, though. Yeah, really good run. This is a good showing for LGIM, who in the past, especially last year, did not have very successful Team League runs. And this is kind of a bright start for them going into our regular season coming up a little bit later. Yeah. Really well done, and a nice team match that we had. A very, well, quite a lot of back and forth games that we saw today, and a lot of interesting strategies and matchups, especially Supernova being a really aggressive Terran player. One of the few that really showed this aggression in the early game. Most of the Terran players in the GSTL Pre-Season tournament were trying to go into the macro game, but Supernova, the one to, from the beginning, try to get the gas up early and then proxied the factory against First. Now we saw him with the Marauder and Widow Mine attack against Seed. I really like this.
Yeah, that was a really strong build. Unfortunately, not able to give him the success that he needed in Game 2 because Seed played so safely with the robotics before Nexus, and even with the wide ramp, he was able to defend. Great micro, good decision-making, canceling the second Observer, making that Immortal. That was a game-winning choice almost, I feel.
The tournament gave us a bit of a glimpse into the future. This is the first time that we saw Heart of the Swarm in an offline environment in such a tournament, and it was really interesting. All the strategies that we've seen, very different playstyles in all the matchups from all the races. We didn't really have any race really dominating. So at this point, I have to say that this was really exciting to cast, and I'm so looking forward to Heart of the Swarm.
You know, it was really exciting for me too. As soon as I heard from the beginning, all I wanted to do was to tweet about it and tell everybody. We've known about this preseason for a while. We had to keep it a secret. Then it was announced, and it did not disappoint. We got to see some of the best players in the world playing this new game. This is, it's an expansion, but it is a new game. I have to say that.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's, of course, still a phase where we see a lot of experiments where players are not quite sure how to deal with certain strategies, how to open in these games, how to use the new units. But they're experimenting quite a lot. We've seen so many strategies now. It's still a beta, guys, so there will be a few more patches before we then finally have Heart of the Swarm being released, and even after the game has been rolled out, there's probably going to be a lot of adjustments.
Starting from March 1st, we'll have a period of downtime as well. Blizzard can look at things internally. Here are our results for today. You can see that Seed was able to clear up the last player, Supernova, and, you know, otherwise it was a pretty back and forth.
Yeah. Especially the first games, it was really intense. Violet was not able to live up to the expectations. He actually apologized earlier, even was like, okay, this did not work as I intended. He told me that the next event for him is probably going to be IAM, where he wants to do a lot, where he really wants to show his style. Here we have all of them once again assembled in the center of the stage.
Yep. Both teams together here to have our final send-off interview.
I actually think that LJM hasn't used a single player twice.
This GSTL logo was never fixed, by the way. It's always broke when it comes in like that.
Yeah, nobody repaired it. Of course, we have an interview with the two coaches here, also with a few of the players.
He was presented the check for 3 million won. Not bad for a pre-season.
Yeah, it was a small tournament. It was a really exciting
this
one.
is on a beta as well, so yeah, it's not a lot of money to be had. Beta tournament necessarily, generally speaking.
Seed with their first challenge.
See all the players on that list, nearly all of them coming out and performing for their team.
It was a great tournament. I really enjoyed this. We had 6 days of Heart of the Swarm. And guys, remember that the VODs are also up. If you miss one of the matches, then go to GOMTV.net and check the VODs out. They are all free. They are all in HD.
Yep. Tell your friends about it as well. A lot of people still somehow don't know about this. Here is, of course, the AZUBU coach getting interviewed now. See, top of the back, did not actually get to play just yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would have loved to see him today.
Sticking his head out.
So the coach thought that Supernova might have a chance to come back into the series. He thought he might have like a 30% chance to maybe turn things around in favor for Team AZUBU. Didn't really work out that way, but Supernova definitely put up a fight. He just said that the runner-up team unfortunately doesn't get anything. Well, they got a lot of respect, I would say.
For sure, especially with their first showing. See Inka at the background, did not play either. Not yet.
Now we'll probably see him in the GSTL.
You won't be able to see him until you have a scan.
The coach is quite happy that his players were able to get a bit of confidence in the team league, get the experience here in the studio.
우승까지도 노려보도록 하겠습니다. 네, 임성춘 감독이 옆에 있으니까 마치 해설자의 해설을 듣는 듯한 이런.
He predicts that they could be the champion of the regular season. This is where they really want to show their strength, and they have a strong lineup. Here it is again, all of them.
Yep, getting the cheer from the crowd as well. And now, I believe we're going to have our IM coach interview.
Few players missing. They just acquired Squirtle, who joined the team today, and also one of the players that we haven't seen in this tournament is Lucira.
Very true. There's a lot of players actually for LGM that we haven't seen just yet.
So the coach of AZUBU is now adding that for them it's just the start at their new team and they want to advance and grow very slowly.
Inka always with that big smile on his face, by the way, in the back, I've been noticing. He takes it away as soon as I say that, but...
Yeah, the AZUBU coach is just now mentioning that he really would like to showcase as many players as he can in the team league. He wants his team to be well balanced. And I actually feel that they have a great team spirit and they were all doing so well. He actually said that Inka and Tov should please be ready for the next team league, and both of them looked into the camera a little bit embarrassed, trying to turn their heads away.
You can see even though the team lost, all the players seem to be in high spirits right now, smiling. They're very pleased with how the season went overall.
자, 그리고 우리 우승을 차지한 염원을 뿐, 우승의 하늘 뿐, 물론 프리시즌이긴 합니다만 LG IM의 강동원
Hira is of course happy here.
Yeah, and he is really, he probably has a lot to say, you know, being a criticized for his coaching techniques in the past, not having very good showings in 2012. This is a new year, this is a new time, a new expansion, and he was able to take the pre-season.
프리시즌이긴 하지만 최선을 다해서 준비를 했고.
Says LGIM has a lot of fans. Any comments to your fans?
성과가 돌아온 것 같아서 너무 기쁘고요.
And he said even though it's the pre-season, we prepared a lot for the matches.
더 강력한 모습으로.
And because the players practiced really hard, they're able to take the win.
네, 수고하셨습니다. 여러분 박수 부탁드릴게요. 프리시즌 비록 2주간의 그 아주 짧은 여정이긴 했습니다만 우리 팬들의 입장에서는 관계자들의 입장에서는 야 이거 LGIM의 숨어있는 전력들을 유감없이 보여줬다.
Too much sitting.
용병술에 대해서도 감탄하지 않을 수가 없었거든요. 모든 선수들에게 기회를 주기 위함이었을까요? 엔트리는요?
프리시즌.
This has been just a great opening season for LGIM overall, and he cannot be displeased.
Yeah, I would have
able to use so many different players as well, you know?
I would have loved to see MVP or at least an ST, but yeah, it didn't work out that way.
그래서 정규 시즌 때 더 좋은 모습을 보일 수 있을 것
He's
같습니다.
been really excited to use some of the new players who've been preparing Heart of the Swarm in the background for a really long time, and he got that opportunity. They played well for him.
I'm excited to see Rune in the next season. I want to see him in the Code A qualifier. This is going to be great. This kid has shown so much talent in this game.
There's going to be a shake-up for sure after that first qualifier of new faces coming in from not only the ESF teams but from Kespa teams as well.
Yeah, definitely true.
안상환 선수
The interview, of course, with Seed now.
안상환 선수 수고하셨습니다.
Seed getting a bit of the limelight here.
He's wearing a white jacket that I think we have not yet seen, actually.
Yeah, this time we don't see him in the Murloc suit that he was wearing yesterday.
Or the really good-looking red hoodie.
Yeah.
일단
Seed, a man of many
이겨서 기분이
apparel.
좋고요. 너무 자유의 날개에서 지다가 갑자기
It's been a long time since I won a match, so
일단 기분 좀.
he's pretty happy to win in a broadcast match.
지난번이랑 지난번에도 계속 세팅을 했었거든요. 자리에서.
He was preparing to come out
다 이겨버리더라고요.
since Friday, in fact.
제발 그냥 저도 좋으니까 한 판만 하고 싶다. 이 생각했는데.
Yesterday he set up to come out, but he wasn't able to play. That was more of a good thing than a bad thing, though, for his team, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
So he's just very happy that he was able to finally make a showing, because it's really important to him to look like a good player for his fans.
He was really eager to play. He pointed that out today several times when we talked to him, that he really wants to play. He was a bit afraid that Ragnarok would be able to pull off an all-kill, but in the end, he is the player who takes the final point for his team.
감사합니다. 군단 신장에서는 회원절을 잊어주시기 바랍니다. 네, 감사합니다.
It's basically, just saying thanks to the fans for supporting him.
자, 이렇게 해서 오늘 2013년 군단의 신장 GSTL Pre-Season이 마무리가 되었습니다. 우승을 차지한 LGIM 팀 그리고 준우승을 차지한
LGIM did it. They did it with so many different players, and that's one thing to note. It wasn't like we had two strong players on LGIM and they were dominating everything. Here I put out so many new faces. Everyone kind of shared the win.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They got to use so many different players. It showed that all the players are really preparing so well right now.
We've seen Ragnarok twice. He was one of the few players that were able to play twice in the matches, but still, right now he has shown us so many different faces. I'm a little bit sad that we didn't see an ST, MVP, and all the other players on the lineup, but that's definitely going to happen in the next GSTL season, which is going to start soon. I hope, guys, that you really enjoyed the pre-season tournament. It was a blast casting it. We had so many new strategies, new players, and just very interesting games.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Check out our Code A days. We've got 2 of them left, 8 more spots to give away into Code S. And then otherwise, make sure you tune in for Code S. The round of 4 is on Friday.
Exactly. Really exciting games coming up now in Wings of Liberty. There's the last few games that we have in Wings of Liberty, and especially the 3rd round of Code A is so exciting. We have so many matches that are on more than Code S level. This is a little bit crazy. Flash versus Rain, for example. We have Alive versus Live. All these games coming up within the next few days, and then we have, of course, also Code S, so make sure that you tune in. I really hope that you enjoyed today's show. We're going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.